On a frozen roadside where even the forest had fallen silent, a rare Eurasian lynx lay, motionless in the snow, one breath away from disappearing forever. What happened next wasn't just a rescue, it became a powerful reminder that even the wild sometimes needs saving. The call came just after sunset when winter had already tightened its grip on the forest. The temperature had dropped sharply and the road cutting through the wilderness had turned into a silent ribbon of ice. Most animals had long retreated into shelter. Nothing was supposed to be moving out there anymore. The voice on the other end of the line was shaken. "There's a large wildcat," the caller said. "It's lying near the road. It hasn't moved." At first, rescuers feared the worst. Roadside sightings in winter rarely ended well. But when the caller mentioned tufts on the ears and a spotted coat, everything changed. This wasn't a fox. This wasn't a stray. It was a Eurasian lynx, one of the most elusive predators of the forest. Rare, powerful, almost never seen by humans. The rescue team moved immediately. Headlights cut through falling snow as the vehicle sputtered the coordinates. Every minute mattered. In temperatures like this, even the strongest animals could slip quietly into hypothermia. As the forest closed in around them, one question echoed in every mind. What could bring a lynx to the edge of a frozen road? The headlights revealed her shape before anyone spoke. There, just beyond the road's edge, lay the lynx. Her body was curled naturally against the snow, her thick fur.
Up close, the signs were clear. Severe weight loss, frost forming along her whiskers. Her body temperature was dangerously low. She had likely been struggling for days, maybe longer. When the rescuer knelt beside her, she flinched slightly, then stopped. Her eyes locked onto his, holding them. It wasn't aggression. It was surrender. And in that moment, the team understood. If they didn't act now, the forest would claim her forever. The rescue unfolded in tense silence. Thermal blankets were wrapped carefully around her powerful frame. Every movement was slow, deliberate. Too much stress could stop her heart. As they lifted her, she released a faint, broken sound. Not a roar, not a warning, a cry. The drive to the wildlife center felt endless. Inside the vehicle, heaters blasted while rescuers monitored her breathing, afraid it might fade at any second. Her body temperature was still dropping. At the center, veterinarians were already waiting. Warm fluids were administered immediately. Oxygen flowed. Heated pads surrounded her. The room buzzed with quiet urgency as numbers were called out. Heart rate too low, reflexes delayed, frostbite beginning in her paw. Then, suddenly, her breathing slowed. Too slow. For a moment, no one spoke. Hands froze mid-motion. A single monitor beep echoed loudly in the room. And then there it was. A stronger heartbeat. A deeper breath. She hadn't given up. Hour by hour, her body responded. The cold loosened its grip. The numbers stabilized. The lynx remained unconscious, but alive. That night, as snow continued to fall outside, something extraordinary happened. A creature born of the wild chose to fight, on the edge between life and death. Recovery was slow, painfully slow. For the first few days, the lynx barely moved. Her eyes followed every sound, every human presence, filled with instinctive caution. She ate only small amounts, conserving what little strength she had left. But slowly, signs of life returned. One morning, a caretaker noticed she had shifted position on her own. Another day, she began grooming her fur. An instinctive act that meant her mind was waking up again. Her breathing deepened. Her gaze sharpened. Weeks passed. Her injured paw healed enough to bear weight. Muscles that had wasted away began to rebuild. She started pacing her enclosure, movements quiet and deliberate, eyes always alert. Then came a discovery that changed everything. Examinations revealed she had recently been nursing. She had been a mother. Somewhere in the forest, not long before she collapsed, she had likely left her cubs behind to hunt. Hunger, winter, desperation. She had pushed herself too far. The realization settled heavily over the team. This lynx hadn't failed. She had sacrificed. And now, every step of her recovery felt like more than survival. It felt like redemption. For her, and for the wild she came from. Healing her body was only part of the journey. To survive again, the lynx needed her instincts back. Human contact was reduced to the absolute minimum. Food was hidden to encourage hunting behavior. Obstacles were introduced to test agility, strength, and awareness. Cameras watched quietly from a distance, and she passed every test. She stalked. She leapt. She reacted to sounds with lightning precision. The hesitation she once showed around humans faded into watchful distance. She was no longer a patient. She was a predator again. After months of rehabilitation, the decision was made. She was ready. Before dawn, she was transported deep into a protected forest. Far from roads, this was the hardest part. Not saving her, but letting her go. Because true rescue doesn't mean keeping something safe forever. It means trusting it to live its own life again. The gate opened slowly. The lynx stepped forward. One paw at a time, muscles tense, senses alive. She paused at the edge of the forest, nose lifting as she tasted the air. Birds stirred above. Leaves rustled softly. For a brief moment, she looked back. Not at the people, but at the space behind her, as if closing a chapter. Then she vanished. No sound. No hesitation. Just a powerful body melting into the trees, reclaimed by the wild. Somewhere out there now, a Eurasian lynx walks free again. Strong, unseen, exactly where she belongs. Her rescue is a reminder that even the fiercest creatures can fall, and that sometimes, compassion is what gives the wild a second chance.